George Russell just exposed a massive Ferrari secret that Fox Sports reports could decide the 2026 championship before the first light even goes out. Planet F1 describes every other team as fighting an engineering nightmare, but the Scuderia has quietly secured a major advantage. It is Monday, February 16th, 2026, and the Formula One paddock in Bahrain is in absolute chaos. Preseason testing has revealed the brutal reality of the new regulations, and it is not what anyone expected. The new power units, with their 50-50 split between electric and combustion power, have stripped away the MGU-H and left drivers with horrific turbo lag. We are seeing cars struggling to leave the pit box, and drivers forcing their machines into first gear for corners they used to take in third. George Russell has spotted something terrifying for Mercedes and Red Bull amidst this confusion. He claims Ferrari has completely bypassed the grid's biggest problem, giving Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc a free pass off the starting line, while everyone else risks stalling. This is not just a technical loophole, but the first major political war of the new era. You have to look at what is happening on track right now to understand why Russell is so worried. The 2026 cars are behaving strangely because the turbocharger no longer has an electric motor to keep it spinning. The MGU-H is gone, so drivers are facing massive delays in power delivery. Russell described it yesterday with a brilliant analogy, highlighted by GP Blog. He said, "Driving these cars is like approaching a roundabout on your way to the supermarket, where you would usually roll through in third gear. Now you have to slam it into first, rev the engine to the moon, and scream your way through just to keep the turbo alive. You get zero power when you hit the gas if you fail to do this. It feels unnatural and sounds terrible, and for the engineers at Mercedes, it is a big technical challenge to adapt to. While Red Bull appears to be setting the pace, this is where the Mercedes driver's sharp eye comes in. Russell started watching the Ferraris closely during practice starts, while wrestling with his own car's limitations. What he saw set off alarm bells. The Mercedes, McLaren, and Red Bull drivers are aggressively slipping their clutches and dropping to incredibly low gears to launch. But the Ferrari drivers look relaxed. Russell told reporters plainly that the Scuderia is launching in significantly higher gears than anyone else. They are not bogging down or fighting the revs, they just go. Ferrari has somehow made it look easy in a season where simply getting off the line is a safety risk. Russell believes this specific characteristic proves Ferrari has committed to a fundamental design choice that the others missed entirely. If you are enjoying this deep look into the 2026 tech war detailed by Formula One, hit subscribe and the bell right now as we track every development from Bahrain to Melbourne. We will now return to the secret behind Ferrari's speed. The secret lies in the size of the turbocharger, according to paddock insiders. Most manufacturers, including Mercedes, chased peak power by building massive turbos to pump huge amounts of air into the engine for top speed. But big turbos are heavy and take forever to spin up, which causes the lag. Russell is convinced Ferrari went the other way and likely built a much smaller, more responsive turbo. It sacrifices a bit of top-end power, but it spins up instantly. This means Hamilton and Leclerc can use second or third gear at the start, get instant torque, and rocket away while their rivals are sitting there, waiting for their giant turbos to wake up. It is a classic case of choosing drivability over raw numbers, and right now, it looks like the masterstroke of the 2026 regulations. Teams in Formula One do not just work harder when they are losing, they lobby the FIA. That is exactly what is happening now. McLaren's Oscar Piastri has been the most vocal by labeling the current launch situation a genuine safety hazard. We saw a chaotic moment in testing where cars were nearly stalling on the grid, with drivers swerving to avoid slow-moving rivals. Piastri warned that we could see a massive shunt at the start if this happens in Melbourne. Rival teams are using this safety narrative to push for an immediate rule change. They want the FIA to standardize the start procedure or allow software aids that would effectively nullify Ferrari's mechanical advantage. They are desperate to level the playing field before the first race and claim it is about safety rather than performance. Ferrari is not having any of it. Sources confirm that the Italian team is blocking every attempt to change the rules because they found a legal solution to a known problem. Fred Vasseur, Ferrari's team principal, is reportedly furious that rivals are trying to ban his advantage, just because they went down the wrong development path. The argument from Maranello is simple, given that the rules were clear for everyone. They sacrificed peak power for this drivability benefit, and now the others want a bailout because it is paying off? It is a brutal political stalemate. Any change to the sporting regulations this close to the season requires unanimous agreement, and Ferrari has absolutely zero incentive to vote away their golden ticket. The irony here is that Fred Vasseur actually warned everyone about this. Reports have surfaced that 12 months ago, in a Formula One Commission meeting, Vasseur raised his hand and said the 2026 engines would have major launch issues. He suggested fixing the rules then, but the other teams ignored him because they thought they could engineer their way around it. Vasseur went back to Maranello and instructed his team to build the small turbo solution. Now the very teams that ignored his warning are begging for help. Russell himself admitted that Vasseur brought this up 6 months ago and asked why he should vote in favor now. It is rare to see a team boss outmaneuver the entire grid so completely before a wheel even turns. The rest of the pecking order remains a terrifying mystery, while this start line drama unfolds. Russell has also called Red Bull's pace scary and noted they are half a second ahead in energy deployment over a single lap. A fascinating dynamic is emerging. Red Bull might have the fastest car over a flying lap, but that speed means nothing if they bog down at the start and get swallowed by 2 Ferraris launching like rockets. Track position in 2026 is going to be key, because following cars is harder with the new active aero wake. Ferrari's smaller turbo also helps them punch out of slow corners better if they get ahead into turn 1, making them incredibly hard to overtake. Mercedes knows this, which is why Russell is sounding the alarm so loudly. This controversy sets the stage for a volatile season opener. We're looking at a 2-tier start in Melbourne if the FIA does not intervene, and right now, they cannot without Ferrari's agreement. You will have the Ferrari-powered cars launching cleanly, while manufacturers like Mercedes, Honda, and Audi potentially scramble to avoid anti-stall. This could decide the championship in the first 200 meters of every Grand Prix. This signals that the 2026 regulations have not equalized the field, but just moved the battleground. It is no longer just about who has the most horsepower, but about who is smart enough to read the fine print. Ferrari gambled on drivability, and for once, the prancing horse looks like the smartest team in the room. The 2026 ERA has arrived, and the politics are already faster than the cars. We are in for a wild ride, whether Ferrari holds onto this edge or the FIA forces a compromise. Thanks for watching, and hit that subscribe button right now if you want to stay ahead of the grid.